Good morning, y'all. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I go by Lady T Hairstyles, and if you're returning, hey Lady T gang, period. I don't know if I like this angle, y'all. Hold on, let me fix the angle. I think that's better. I don't know if I like that angle, but we're gonna go with it or whatever, y'all. But hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I go by Lady T Hairstyles, and if you're returning, hey Lady T gang, period. What's up, y'all? Good morning. So today I felt like it was time to really sit down and really tell you guys, before we get started, have y'all subscribed to the channel? Make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. We are on a road to 2K because we have finally reached 1K. So now I'm on a road to 2K subscribers here on my channel. So with your help, by just hitting the subscribe button and watching all of my vlogs and my videos, we can get there. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this video. It's a little hot in here. I may have to open the window. I was trying not to because I'm sitting on a road where it's a lot of cars. But I had time today to come to you guys and have a conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? I haven't sat down and had like a conversation in a minute and got with you guys and explain my whole transition and all this new stuff that I've been going through. I got to open the window, y'all. It's a little hot. But yeah, so as y'all seen in the previous vlogs, y'all noticed that I am in a new place. Like, I'm not in my salon suite anymore. Am now working in a hair salon. Reason being, guys, let me go ahead and jump right into the meat and potatoes because I know you guys want to know. I said in the other video the reason why I moved, but I didn't give you the meat and potatoes. Like, I really didn't break it down why I moved from the suite that I was in. So let's rewind it a little bit. When I first got in my salon suite, y'all know I was super excited. I was super happy to be there. I actually, stepped out on faith. I was doing hair in my home for a while. I stepped out on faith and I decided to go and get my own salon suite. If y'all see me looking around, there's so many people walking by. I picked the wrong spot to do this, but I already started, so I'm gonna keep going. So I, jumped out on faith. I was like, hey, I want to get a salon suite. Let's go ahead and get it in motion. But in the same time, in the same sense, my wife surprised me with moving. So, from the apartment that we were in, she surprised me and we were moving in the same month that I was going ahead and I was looking for me to get a salon suite. So I was just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? The initial suite that I wanted, I could no longer do that. I can no longer afford that because one, I was moving, there would be more bills where we're going. Two, it was a little bit far from where I was moving from and where I was living. It was a whole lot. So I could not pursue the suite that I was going to go in before. So the suite that I was just previously in kind of fell in my lap. I reached out to this suite before and they told me that all their suites were filled. They didn't have any spots. And just this day, I was just like, Rena, you know what? Call. You never know what may come available. So I picked up the phone and I called and he was like, this girl just moved out. We have a spot available. I was like, oh shoot, yes, red flag. I should have been like, why she moved out, but we're going to get there. So the girl had moved out or whatever the case may be. And then that's when I was able to go view the suite. I went to go view the suite. It was a nice space. I even vlogged that here with y'all. I'll link the vlog right here. And I'll show y'all the vlog where I went to go look at the suite or whatever. So I went to go look at it. It was a nice space. I jumped right in. I paid the guy the deposit and he handed me the keys. Period. So once he handed me the keys, I was like, all right, action. You know what I'm saying? I got a vlog with me painting the place, getting it together, putting down tiles, just making the space look a little bit better than what it looked because it looked like someone was there, wear and tear. So I got it back to, what it needed to look like. Fast forward, I want to say 3 months into the place. I want to say about 3 months into the place, there was chitter chatter. Like, you know what I'm saying? There was chitter chatter. A guy had, before the chitter chatter, I was looking online because someone asked me, how do I get in touch with somebody as far as, to go ahead and lease me a spot there because that's really cool. I'm looking for a spot. I went on the internet, guys, and when I went on the internet to look up the place that I was staying at to find the number for the people, for the girl, I noticed that it said the building was for sale. And I was like, the building's for sale? Spidey senses is up. So I gave the girl the number to the place that I got. I was like, the building's for sale, whatever, I don't know, it might be something. I don't know what it is. But I seen that the building was for sale. So I didn't think nothing of it or whatever. So I gave the girl the number. The girl called me back. No, the girl came back to get her hair done by me again, because the person that wanted me to call to get a spot, she was one of my hair clients. So Lord and behold, she called to try to get a spot for her office space for her business that she had going on. But when she came back the next time to get her hair done, she had told me, like, girl, they said they not accepting no more people here because they selling the building. I was like, what? So I started doing my research. Now I'm 3 months in, y'all, just signing a 12-month lease, coming into a building, and they saying that the building is for sale. So I'm scared, because I'm like, if y'all get new owners, who's to say this new owner is gonna be like, wipe all this out, I have a plan for my business, everybody gotta go. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, on my P's and Q's, I'm asking questions, I'm calling. So I'm calling the leasing agent that I worked with or whatever. Why, when I call the leasing agent that I work with, why he says, oh, I no longer work for the company, you have to call so. I was like, what in the entire hell is going on? He was like, he no longer work for the company no more. You can give so and so a call. You have a new thingy. I was like, so why nobody told us? Like, why do I have to call and find this out? Why is there no letter sent? Why is there no phone calls? So now I'm new people in the building. So I'm going to the people that's in the building and I'm asking them, do they know about this? They just as shocked as me. I'm new coming into the building. They done been here for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, some of these people. So they're looking at me like, wait, what you talking about? You don't know what you talk about type shit, because I'm just getting in here. I'm like, no, this is what's happening. This man telling me, the man that I'm supposed to get my rent to, telling me that he no longer works here no more. This is my red flag number 2. That was red flag number 2. So I was like, okay, this shit is crazy. So I get in touch with the new management company or whatever. So the new management company was like, oh, don't worry about it. The building is for sale, but you guys will be fine. Everything will be good. Everything will be straight or whatever. You're good. You don't have to worry about nothing or whatever the case may be. He said if something do happen, you guys will be notified, and it's not going to happen right away. And, he just reassured me about things that's going on. So I'm like, okay, he put me a little bit at ease. I'm paying my rent. I'm doing everything on time or whatever. I'm paying them. Everything's running smoothly. Fast forward, this guy comes into the building. He knocks on my door and he's like, oh, hey, coming here asking me questions, writing stuff down, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, boom. I'm like, are you the new management? He was like, yeah, I'm about to be. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So what had happened in the building? Something had happened. I think the heat was off or something like that. The man gave me his card when he came in here, and I was like, I went to go call him. I was like, hey, the heat's not working in the building, because I'm thinking he's the new manager, y'all, because he came into my room telling me he's the new manager, and he actually worked next door to the suite. And he was like, oh, I don't own it yet. I'm like, so why would you give me your card and tell me that you own the building? Like, I'm so confused at this point, because it's like, what the fuck is going on in this building? I'm so nervous. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, you don't own it yet. He's like, yeah, I'm waiting for the sale to go through. So why was you in my suite asking me questions, writing down business, doing all of this stuff, and you don't even own the fucking building yet? So I'm like, yo, that's red flag number 3. I should have ran, y'all. I'm telling you, I should have picked up my shit and I should have ran. But I didn't. I have a business. I'm running clients. I got people coming. I don't know. This is my business. So I'm not running. So, but I should have asked more questions and I should have figured this out more. So boom. Fast forward. A couple more months go on. It's almost up to my yearly lease or whatever. So the guy, the management company sends out letters like, oh, and mind you, this is almost a year into my lease. They're just now sending out letters saying that the old company is not the management company no more, that they're the new management company, and that now the building is being sold, so it'll be getting sold to another management company. Like, it's almost a year into my lease, and now y'all just now bringing this up. saying that stuff got situated. These letters should have went out the very first day that the very first management company got fired. You should have been sent these letters out. Like, it was so crazy. Like, it was so crazy. Like, why, like, you keeping people in the dark? We got to call you to figure this out. So, an email, something, shoot me a phone call. Let me know what's happening behind the scenes. So, red flag number 4. Y'all, it keeps going. So then after that, we get introduced to the new management, the people that actually bought the building. They sending out, letterheads. They sending out all of this stuff. They giving out new rules and regulations, and they're walking the building. They actually came to my suite, introduced themselves. They seemed like really nice, beautiful people. Like, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. He was like, there's going to be a lot of changes in the building. We're going to be painting. We're going to be doing all these nice things. Now, granted, they started putting a nice coat of painting down. They start putting new flooring down. They start doing all these nice little, things that meet the eye or whatever. They started doing that because I started looking. Y'all seen it in a few vlogs back. I started looking at new suites. I took y'all on a tour with me looking at different suites because once my yearly lease came up, I was thinking about leaving. So I was like, because there's too much shit going on. When my yearly lease come up, I'm running out of this building. I'm leaving. And I couldn't find nothing that met my payment requirements, because everything was starting to go up. Y'all know real estate nowadays is really crazily increasing. It was like they were showing me little boxes and they wanted like $1,500, and it was crazy. Like, nobody wanted that. So I couldn't find nothing. Well, I found something, but it was too far out the way for my clients that are like kind of client based around me. It was more so closer to where I actually lived than where my client base was. So I was kind of scared to make that move. So I was like teeter-tottering the idea of moving into that suite. So as I'm thinking about moving into the suite, these new managements come in. They start making it look glitz, glam. They start fixing up the place. They start being nice. They started doing all of these cool things. So my wife was like, hey, babe, why don't you stay or whatever, see what they're talking about. They are trying to fix up the building. And I started feeling the same way too. Like, yeah, they are trying to like do a little bit of stuff. They got cleaners coming. They got people that's cutting the grass. They got all of these new glitz and glam things that's going on at the building that I was at. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is the move, that this is what I need. Like, this is what's going to happen. This is where, people are starting to like, it's starting to like really get it together or whatever. So with that being said, I stayed. I ended up staying, but there was a negotiation process. With the negotiation process that was going on, they wanted me to leave my suite. So they asked me, in order to sign a new lease, I would have to move out the suite that I was in to move downstairs to another suite. And I was just like, I really don't want to move from my suite. I really don't want to leave or whatever, because I really like my space. I done painted here. I done, repurposed the floors. I done, hung up some stuff, made it look a little bit nice. I don't want to leave my suite. Y'all, why they was like, oh, you have to move, or, we're not going to sign a lease again for this space. So I'm just like, damn, that's like y'all forcing me out of my space or whatever. So I'm just like a little bit upset. I was like, okay, cool, I'll move, but I need to be like, what's going to happen? Because I put a lot of money into this space. So with me moving, how does that work? Am I going to be recompensated for the, work that I put into here? Or like, what are we gonna do? Like, they was like, okay, yeah, no problem, we'll do 2 months free rent. I was like, oh, okay, peace, boom, we like 2 months free rent. That adds up to about how much money I put into this place. Now, here comes the tricky part, where you kind of like, where it's kind of my fault and it's still a shady situation altogether. I verbally agreed with this guy to do the 2 months free rent. Now, to my recollection, when I re-signed the lease, because again, like I said, they seemed like good people, honest, they were nice, they were straightforward, he was ready to compensate me. It was a lot of stuff that he was willing to do, and I was just like, yes, like, this is it, this is good, cool, I'm gonna move downstairs, I ain't gonna make too much of a stink of it, it's chill. So, y'all, fast forward, I'm like, all right, I was like, okay, boom, I signed the lease. I was like, okay, I've skimmed through. I'm not going to tell y'all no lie. I skimmed through the lease. Like, I did a little once over the lease. Everything looked good. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, as I'm skimming through it, I'm like, yeah, he already said 2 months free rent. I read the lease. I signed it. Boom, we good. Fast forward to present time. So January, February go by. I pay January's rent. I pay February's rent. My lease was up for March 1st. So March 1st, they said March and April would be my free rent, because March was my lease date, my March 1st, so that will be free. And then he said the following month will be free too. So fast forward to May 1st, I'm going into the portal. They have like a portal system where you go log in, you make your payment. That's that. I'm like, all right, boom, we good, we doing it. I'm logging in. I'm like, let me pay my rent. Let me pay my rent. Y'all, I get in there to pay my rent. Why? It's payments past due. It's like you have past due a balance of ... I'm like, wait, hold up. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna trip. Maybe they forgot to take out that free rent. Maybe that, they forgot to take out the free rent. Let me go ahead and call them and let them know they forgot to snatch out that free rent. Let me go ahead and, everything is everything. Y'all, why I call him, he was just like, we never received your January or your February or your March or your April rent. I was like, huh? I said, first of all, y'all received every rent from me since I've been in this building or whatever the case. Because mind you, they bought the building out in the beginning of January. So I've been mailing my rent in. I've been mailing it in. So he like, we never received your January, February rent. Red flag number 5, y'all. I'm like, you never received my January, February rent. Why would you not hit me up why would I, you ain't even hit me up. Why would you wait for me to hit you up in May to tell me you never received a January and a February rent? And it's now the month of May. Red flag number 5, y'all. Just pay attention, y'all. It just gets crazier. It gets crazier. It gets crazier, y'all. It gets crazier. And this is I'm going to tell y'all now, this is literally a lesson learned. But I will get into that a little bit later. So he's like, okay, boom, you owe the January and the February rent. I was like, no, I don't. He was like, well, do you have proof of that? Mind y'all, in the midst of me moving from suite to suite, I kept my receipts in my drawer, where I would keep my receipts in my drawer. But in the process of moving, I had to throw them away. That's the only thing that I could think of, because I cannot find the receipts. I've been looking. I've been working with the post office to help me find them, find the receipts to those payments that I made. But as of today, in June, I don't have any proof that I paid the January, February rent. I have proof of every other receipt, y'all. Y'all, I can't even believe this. And I want to say, I promise you, I think he found my receipts, and this is why he playing in my face, because in me moving, I was leaving trash in the hallway. I was moving, just moving. I'm moving from one suite upstairs to downstairs. It's a lot going on. I'm moving by myself. I'm dropping stuff. It is, it's happening. So he was like, oh, and then he got cameras in the building. You get what I'm saying, y'all? It just feels so shady. It's so shady. And and even in this moment, I'm thinking of things that could have possibly happened with those receipts. I promise you, yo, I really do promise you, I'm thinking of stuff right now that what could have happened, because in the process of me moving, I was dropping stuff out the drawer. I was dropping bags. I was dropping hair tools, just different stuff, trying to carry stuff as a woman moving stuff by yourself. So he was like, oh, if you can find the proof of the January, February rent, we'll go ahead and handle that. But as far as March and April, you have to pay those. I was like, no, you told me that we had an agreement that I would get March and April for free for moving from one thing to another. That was compensation for me moving, and all the things that was going on in that room that I put into that room, painting, flooring, all of that stuff that I put into that room, you would compensate me back for that. He was like, I don't remember that. I said, yo, we had a verbal agreement. Don't play like that. Don't do me like. He was like, do you have proof of that conversation? I was like, we were on the phone. And at first, I know I had it in the email. I want to say the attachment of that email got deleted, but I've been checking and checking. Why I can't find this conversation for nothing in our emails? I know we talked about it on the phone, but we were going back and forth in the emails talking about the name, correction of the name on my lease and all of that, and I was correcting him. I only seen one of those correction emails, and I can't find any of the rest of them. Yo, it's so much shady shit going on, y'all. I just don't know what to think of it. But he was like, does it say it in your lease that you were getting the 2-month free rent? And mind you, I remember rewinding back. I said, I just skimmed through the lease, being trusting. I skimmed through the lease, and I had in my head like, okay, this man verbally agreed with me. We having 2 months free rent. It sounds good. And I just signed the lease. Y'all, why I go back and read my lease, the whole 2-month free rent is not inside the lease. He never put it in there. He knew from day one that he was going to play me with this. He knew. He knew. Because he gave me the lease. He was like, oh, he stood there while I'm skimming through it, reading it, and signing it, and take it back. Like, he knew he was going to play me, and I really just played a fool and a victim to the fucking games. Now, mind you, these new managers are down from New York. They come from New York. They came down from New York, and they bought the building out. Like, and I was the only person left in the building from everybody that used to be there. So, mind you, let me go ahead and let me tell y'all some more scoop. Mind y'all, I found out that he wanted me to move from my suite so that he can up the rent of that suite. Now, mind you, y'all know by state guidelines, you could only increase somebody's rents by like 10 to 12%. So I was only paying a certain amount of rent inside that room, and he could only go up on my lease a certain amount. So instead, he wanted to kick me out of that suite space, put me in a new suite space so he can give me a higher rent. Y'all get it? You know what I'm saying? You got to choose this down here to pay more. And then the girl that got my suite up there told me that she's paying somebody told me that the girl upstairs is paying way more. The one that got my lease, like 10 times the amount that I was paying in that room. So I was like, that was a red flag number 6. He wanted to go up on the rent. That's why he wanted me out that room to begin with. So I'm like, yo, this man it was all a fucking scam. Like, it was all like, not a scam, but it was all strategically played out to get me out of that room and to get me out of the building so I wouldn't have to pay a certain amount of money. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, y'all, it was a lose-lose situation for me. And it was a learning curve, y'all. It was a learning curve. It was my very first time going into a business spot, renting out a suite and doing all of this stuff in business for myself. It was a very big learning curve, and it's still a learning curve because I'm still going through the drama with it. I'm still trying to figure this out and navigate this situation. It's so crazy, y'all. I really got played in my first year of business, opening up a business, and I watch a lot of people on TikTok and YouTube talk about their business and, you know, how, you know, stuff happens and, you know, you wish you would have knew it before you went into business. These are things that they were talking about. They wish they knew certain stuff before going into business because there's so many guidelines, so many twists and turns, so many messing up the money, so much of this, like, you know what I'm saying? So, y'all, I say this to say that if you are ever trying to get into business, really know what you're doing. Really have a game plan. Really watch out for the snakes and the scammers. So, like, y'all, I'm still dealing with this situation. I just picked up, and because I was so stressed in the situation in that building, I still have the keys to that suite. I still am going through the situation. I just don't want to be there. So I found me a salon to go work in peacefully so I wouldn't have to go into that building and feel stressed. Like, I don't know if y'all understand that, but I did not want to be in that building because I was so stressed out about how I was getting done and seeing that man coming there every day and knowing that he was playing me, got his lawyers, and I got to get my situation together. It was stressful. So I left to come to come work at the salon where it's more peaceful, it's more nice, it's more welcoming, and it's affordable. I'm still paying almost like the same amount. It's just like, you know, it's monthly in a shared space. I just have my own space, you know, but this is the same. I'm paying the same amount of money here. So it's just like, y'all, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. It didn't have nothing to do with the money, me not being able to pay rent, me not being able to have none of that. It's like, it literally does not have nothing to do with that because I have the money to pay for a suite space. Like, you know what I'm saying? I make enough money to make sure my bills is paid there. Like, but to deal with the stress of it all and being played and paying all of that back rent to something that you said that you were going to give to me is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to pay me. We're going to fight this in court and we're going to do what we got to do because I'm not paying you for something that you told me you would give me for free. He was like, do you have proof that I said that? Like, he knew. Like, I cannot believe y'all. Y'all don't understand. So my phone overheated. It's getting hot in this car. Yeah, so that's basically a little bit of behind the scenes of why I moved to a salon. There's so much more to the story. I'll probably do a part 2, but right now I got to get ready to go do a client's hair. And plus, I'm super hot in this car and I got to get the heck out of this car, y'all. So, if y'all like this video, make sure you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Period. You already know what's tea. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you hashtag Lady T gang, down in the comment section, just so that I know you're a real one. Period. All right, bye, y'all.